to continue to be wicked and to keep themselves in wickedness. Are you there with me? Yeah. That is why it takes society to come against them before they can shut them down. Because you see, success have a way of placing you in a place where you believe that anything you want in life, you can get it. And that is the place the enemy don't want you to go. And because he stopped thinking, he died so much that nothing was left of him. And then when everything was taken away from him, famine came in the land. Even the nation will lose opportunities for you when your life is spent uselessly. When your life is spent vain. I've seen people who come from nowhere in history, nowhere in life. Some people don't even have a birthday. They were born in villages that don't have, even the GPS cannot pick up the village. Even the district they born in, there is no need for it in the dictionary. Are you there with me? Yeah. But listen to me. Great men come from those places. Amen. And govern the world. People come from places that nobody knew. And they have made it in life. Why? Because of their thinking. The Caucasians came to this country. The Anglo-Saxons came to this country from Europe. And they didn't come here as rich people. Before they left and came here, they were broke. And in fact, society was not pleasant to them. And when they came here, it is out of their thinking that this nation is built. Amen. Are you there with me? Amen. So you see, life is not built because of the color that you have. Success is not attracted to your size. Success is not attracted to your age. Because there are young people that got wealth that old people don't even have a quarter or even 10% of what they have. The difference between those young people and the old folks is their thinking. Amen. Are you there with me? Amen. Today, the young man found himself so entrapped that the Bible says he hired himself. The citizens of the country did not hire him. He hired himself. The Bible is fair. He hired himself. He went himself looking for a job. And when he went looking for a job, a Jewish man came into a typical unbeliever and asking him for a job. The man is, the other way to stop him from working is to send him to what he don't like to see, pigs. They send him to the swine to go and take care of pigs. You know, the Jewish man will never want to be involved with pigs. And the Bible says that he was sent to take care of pigs. Worst of all, he became so broke. Because you know, when you hire yourself, the salary don't come on time. If it is when people hire you, then the salary will come on time. The salary, they don't come on time, so he began to eat of what was left of the pig's food. Wow. He fed himself from the pig's food. Can you believe? The man out of his thinking got what even his elder brother never got. No slave in his father's house have ever had a wealth that was available to him. He went into exile and he spent it. Today, he is now wanting and desiring to eat what the pigs will eat. The Bible says the prodigal went back to his power. He went back to thinking. He knew that he would not survive by reason of the muscle. He knew that he would not survive because society is going to call for homeless people to come and have shelter because the weather is very cold. You don't survive by that. No matter how you think about life, homeless shelter, living there forever. I tell you what, until you begin to think from that shelter and get out, life is not going to be pleasant to you. Amen. While he was yet in that state, in terms of me, dying, being rejected, he thought. The first time the Bible says the man thought and he went to negotiate with his father. He thought again. He asked himself some questions that I believe that we're going to ask a couple of them. How many servants in my father's house have more than enough to eat? That I am here, stranded, and blessed to eat pig food. Success is not attracted to you until you begin to ask the right questions. Amen. Have you stopped short to ask yourself some questions? Life is given to men that ask questions. Life, success is given to women that ask questions. That is why God is so fair to that extent. I mean, it's so just to that extent. He's not fair, he's just. Because, you know, fairness has to do with Democrats and everything else. Just because he says his word and he gave it equally to everybody. You choose how you're going to spend your life by reason of the intelligence he has given to you. Every man is born with a level of intelligence. Are you there with me? Yes. There are people that are born without arms and limbs. Without limbs at all. And yet they are living a life of success far beyond men and women that have muscles, tall, huge, handsome looking, and yet are on drugs today. Amen. We got a life to live. And it will start by our thinking. He asked himself the question, how many? Have you asked yourself, I am a Christian. I'm a servant of God. Why my life is stranded in this way? If my life is stranded this way, Father, are you alive? I will stop what I'm doing, leave the pigs to feed themselves, run out of this place and go back to my Father. And that's the place where we all need Jesus. Amen. Listen to me, you know, somebody would, you know, the philosophy of today tell you that, you know, like you were saying, somebody would bring psychological discussion, you know, philosophical discussion, and, you know, about Jesus did not die, you know, they didn't do this, and they didn't do that. Listen to me. You can use your theology and explain that my experience in 1987, September 24, around 8 o'clock in the night, my experience with the Lord Jesus, you cannot explain that to me with books. Your philosophy and your university and your college cannot explain it to me because it is so unique that I alone experience that. And I know him to be God. Amen. His involvement in my life broke the chains of bondage over my family and over myself. Amen. And from that day onward to today, my life have never tested what killed my fathers. What killed my fathers? Many of them died young. What killed them? I said to myself, will not kill me. Amen. The enemy has made attempts to destroy my life. He cannot destroy my life. Why? Because I know the man of life. Are you there with me? Amen. I know the man of life. Amen. Listen to me. That is not psychology. It's not theology. It's an experience. Amen. I know him. And that day, that evening, I went to church not believing what church was. That was the first day I ever entered church. And when I entered church and the word of God was ministered, I realized that this God the man is talking about, I need this God. Amen. Not that I didn't have a God. As a matter of fact, I had the symbols tied on my waist, on my hands, and on my arm of the God that I served before. When I came and encountered him, I didn't take up my God immediately. I came back the next day. Then I realized I will not sit in this place and listen to what this man is talking about, this God, and still have what I have with me. I have to dismantle everything that was on me. And there was a flower bush in front of the church, and I went and threw it there. No theology explained that to me. No philosophy convinced me about that. It was because I met the man of life, Jesus. His life, his death, his crucifixion, and his resurrection impacted my life. It was by my thinking that I realized. I remember talking to my father. I said, Daddy, can we go to church? He told me, oh, son, forget about church people. I used to work before and be at Goodrich, and then you had an AD church there. He said, just forget. When I finish building our house, and then we buy a better car, and then we all would drive. He said, church people, you see, they will only respect you when you appear there with money. And I believe him. I believe him very much. He was my idol of life. I admired him. He was my hero. He was the strongest man I knew ever in life. So I believe my daddy. And so I said, okay, that's true. We will show them when we enter that place. And we forgot it. He got sick. A few years after. And he died. life change. Responsibility change altogether. I had to switch school, go back to a public school. And he didn't want me to go to a public school because he knew that what was being taught there was not proper to be or help me up. Now, I had to quit school and go to a public school. And exposed to public school for 2 years after he died. But I got to a place and I said to myself, no. When I accepted Jesus, he died in 1996. And when I accepted Jesus in 1987, he died in 86, and I accepted Jesus in 1987. 88, I said, no. If he is the same God who brought me to him, and he is responsible, and I have a new father, and I will pray to him, he will send me back to the school of my preference. Ladies and gentlemen, I got back to the school of my preference. They didn't have the money, but the school fees was paid. I remember back in the days, there were, we used to have a Catholic father who was the principal at the same time. He smokes, chain smoker. And in one semester, people pay school fees one time. But he knew Silas Harris so much to an extent that I have many receipts. So he put me out of school today for school fees. I go and get maybe $20, $30, I come and pay. So Father Lee said, Silas, you're going to finish my receipt book. How many times the name is going to be written here? I wrote my name repeatedly until the school year ended. Are you there with me? Yes. That is for a moment. But because I realized that I have a spiritual father now, my God and my Savior, he took over. Physical father is dead. He never had the opportunity to have brought me to church. And I went to church on my own, not knowing how church looked like. Like there's some of you young people, beautiful people in the United States, you are being told to go to church while you are young, being taught about it, and you take it to be joke, and you go play games with zombies and all kind of devils inside of your game, and you believe that you think you're on top of the world. You have an opportunity to utilize it. Don't be like every average man. Ladies and gentlemen, this man asked the question. He decided that I will go back to my father. And I will say to him, he decided that I am no longer qualified to be called your son. Call me in as one of your servants. And the Bible says, while he was thinking, the father was wishing for him to return. Amen. Some of you young people that you are there, you believe in God. What he's looking for is for you to make the change. If you can turn your mind back to him and to return to him, he is prepared to accept you. As a matter of fact, while you think you are yet on the way coming, he is watching on the road for you. Amen. The Bible says it is his father, not even his elder brother. If his elder brother have seen him, the elder brother would have said some things to him to discourage him. But the father was on the way looking to see the return of his son. Amen. Jesus is watching for you. He's looking over your life. Listen, when he gets involved with you, there will be situations and circumstances that will come against you. But because he is involved with you, there is nothing that can weigh you beyond what life is able. Because he is God Almighty, who is the master of life, willing to change the affairs of your life. You come into him as a slave, but he's restoring you as a son and as a daughter. Why you think that you come in and you're going to struggle like a slave? He is preparing for you a new ring. The Bible said, he said to the servants, go and bring him a ring and put on his finger. A ring is a sign of covenant. That I'm covenanting back with my son. That he belongs to me. The Bible says, he said, don't bring a ring, but bring a new robe and place it upon him. That is a sign of a covenant. That my covering is upon your life. And I'm watching over your life. Are you there with me? And he's getting instruction. Listen to me. This son is like his father. The father is a thinker. And the son is a thinker. And when thinkers meet, a thinker meet another thinker, only wisdom is produced. Are you there for me? So you see here, nobody suggested to the old man that your son need to have a new ring. Your son need a new clothes on him. We need to kill the fattened calf. The father decided. Are you the son of your father?
How are you thinking?
Are you a son of your God? It's going to be reflected by your thinking.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the party was called. At the anger of his elder brother, there are people around you who hate to see the success about your life. But I can guarantee for you, anytime you see people begin to hate you, it is a sign that God is showing up in your life. Anytime you begin to see people begin to gossip you, it is a sign that God is in your life.
Amen.
I see a son of mine, one of my spiritual sons said, you know, before you believe anything about me, you need to ask me. And I wrote on it and I said, you don't even need all of that. Every man who wants to be successful in life will have to be gossip.
Amen.
People will have to talk about you. And in fact, some of us want to create an issue so people will be talking. Are you there with me?
Amen.
Because you see, that's the reason why when this man decided to leave, he collected everything that belonged to him. He left. Who told you his elder brother was not gossiping? But did they change his status? No. His elder brother gossip did not stop him from returning.
He came by that
It
day.
did not decide that he was going to have another new ring and a new clothes given to him and a party being called for him. Are you there with me? God is placing before you the opportunity to use your mind. Christianity is not a dead religion. It's not a religion of philosophies and philosophers. That's why psychologists lost their way in Christianity. No matter whether you are a priest, you are an archbishop, you are a bishop, or whatever ecclesiastical order that you belong to, Christianity doesn't belong to the ideas that you proffer from the text that you read, except the fact that whosoever in the Bible, that the Bible says whosoever is welcome in the presence of God. You know, you have a situation now, there are churches in our time that only the best of the best go to the church. You know, the pastor is proud because he got doctors and lawyers in his church.
Political figures.
He got political figures in his church. Mighty people are in the church, in his church. And to the extent that some people today, some ministers and bishops and ministers are losing their way in life for the defense of a political figure. And when you do not know the difference between politics and your worship of God, and you got no limit, ladies and gentlemen, the same enemy that held you will expose you and you disgrace yourself.
Amen.
Are you there with me?
Amen.
But when you return to him, he got a party for you. He got a new gown, a new clothes to give to you. He got a new ring for you. And I want you to remember today that even in your bedroom, you can talk to him. Even in your shower, you can return to him. Even while you're driving on your way to work, or maybe from work, or even at your job, you don't need a church before you can talk to him. He hears you everywhere you are. When this young man decided to talk to God and ask himself questions, he was in a big span. He was in a dirty up place. At his job, the job was an undignified job, and he was there. He asked the right questions. He took himself from there. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you are, if you ask the right questions, God is willing and prepared. He's watching on the way, on the road to see your return. In Jesus' name. Amen. I want us to stand on our feet. I want us to stand on our feet. I want us to lift up our hands before God.